YouTube, Redcoat's return here, back from the Russian party. Had a great time last night. We really had a lot of fun. Didn't need the Walther just as well, but was terrific. But in the night I couldn't sleep in the mid hours of the night. Had things going through my head. One of them was tampers, you know. So I thought I'd show you a few of the more interesting tampers that I've collected over the last couple of years. These are not all of the ones I have, but some of the more interesting ones. Just to give us a baseline, of course, the good old check tool, everyone knows it. For $2 or so, you can't beat this. It's light, not a worry if you were to lose it. Very functional. I think actually a very nice tool. I use it a lot, let's face it, we all do. There is a chap, I'll put his details down if I can find him again on YouTube, who bought the original factory production, the last few boxes that were available, and he sells them at a handsome price. He says they are stamped much nicer, so if anyone's a real collector, you might want to look at that. I'm quite happy with this one. I have about 4 or 5 of these and just keep them very handy, you know. As I said, when I'm traveling, I'm often taking that one with me. As you know, I shoot pistols, so this is one of my shells. This is a rifle caliber. That little dent means the detonator has actually gone off. This is not a live round, of course. I just put a rubber cap on the top, polish them up, and that's actually a very practical tamper, I think, rather nice. I use that sometimes. And then in the same idea, I took a 45 pistol shell, and this was an old piece of plastic spacing from packaging. I don't throw things away very easily, so I thought one day I'll use it, and after 20 years either I've thrown it away or I found a use. In this case I did. Put some eraldite in there and this rubber seal, and it's a lateral tamper, you see. It means I can keep my heat away from the bowl if it's a big bowl, and just another way to tamp. I use that sometimes as well. You'll probably see all these from time to time on my videos as I rotate through them. The most beautiful one, of course, is from Jordan the Prairie Piper. This is came with his pipe that I bought, and I use it with his pipe religiously. And it's I would never take this out of the house. This is so beautiful. I never want to lose this masterpiece. Beautifully carved, lovely sort of stem material used here, and polished steel cap there. Absolutely gorgeous. That's a real craftsman's work. Then we have good old Fang. This is rather like the Deco 8 ones from China, of course. And what is interesting is it has the holes here. It's quite a wide tamper head, and it's rounded, so it's got a sort of cusp to it. And these holes, it means basically when you tamp, you won't extinguish it by just tamping down. Air can still get in, and you sort of get a rounded finish, slightly domed finish to the tobacco, which is perfect. And I do find this is very good. I use this a lot. I think it was about $14 or less than $20 anyway. It's sort of beautifully engraved in brass with, of course, the good old spike tool in the middle, rather like the Deco 8 ones. So I'll leave a link. I get it on eBay, Fang. I got it on eBay, and they are very, very nice. Quite nice weight to it as well. So I use that at home a lot. Smoking pipes, no, Norfolk smoking pipes. So the pipe maker in Norfolk, I did a video about him, and one of the things he sent me with this beautiful tamper with a wood grip, with a spike, and with a reaming blade here as well. Very nice. It's a bit more elegant than the check tool, I think. Huh? So I use that sometimes, from time to time. And I started taking interest in old tampers. So the guys with the clay pipes, they had tampers too. You know, you have to have one. So the workers probably use a nail. But the gentleman, of course, had something a little bit better, a bit more decorative. And I've got a few here. There's a chap in America, I'll put a link there. He makes reproductions of some of these tampers. Very affordably, $14 or so. I got 3 of them. Here we have Sir Walter Raleigh. As you know, I love Sir Walter Raleigh aromatic, so every time I'll smoke that, I will use this tamper. I think they're made of a kind of pewter mixture, and cast very nice with a good definition, and they're brand new, so they're really nice condition, and very attractive. So a gentleman would have had one of these for his pipe. And another one I bought was for Lord Admiral Nelson, looking very regal, just like standing on top of his column in Trafalgar Square in London. Very nice. You know, for $14 you can't beat it. Very attractive, I think. And I bought 3, and the third one, I had to do it, was this slightly bawdy one here. But there were bawdier ones that he had. This is Nude Lady. I still thought was quite decent for gentlemen's company anyway. And as you see, it has, some of them have a little ring. You could attach it, of course, as a pendant, but I think for men it was mostly meant to be attached to a watch chain as a fob. A fob is the counter weight where you have it on the other end of the chain to allow the chain to stay in your opposite waistcoat pocket. Sometimes you can have a fob on the middle of the chain. It depends if you do the full albert or the half albert. Maybe I'll do a video on that one time. I have a nickel type watch which this would fit very nicely, so I probably will attach it to that watch chain. So that's lovely. And finally, the pièce de résistance is this one. Now, very collectible in tampers are the Astley tampers. So the same company that used to make, still do make pipes, but they've gone through many ownerships. It's a long story. But they used to make tampers as well as tobacco blends, which are blended for Astley today. But this is an antique tamper, and they can be very pricey. And this one I got on eBay, and I made an offer. It was accepted. I didn't get that much off. It was about $40, I think. But sometimes they've been up to $100 if they're in very good condition. And this one is in very nice condition, I think. And I don't know if you can see this in the light here. Astley of London is stamped on the bottom, so it's actually one of those. Gave it a wash with soapy water. It got a lot of the grime. I think the grime was actually protecting this. That's William Shakespeare, and I shall use that when I smoke a Shakespeare blend. There is one, I think, blend out there. I've got it somewhere in the cellar, which is Shakespeare, which would be most fitting. But I think they're very attractive, very elegant, and there's a bit of history there with Astley. And there's probably more pipe producers that made their tampers, and maybe have long since stopped. And interesting things to collect, you know, as pipe smokers tend to be collectors, don't we? Right, so that's the that's what I wanted to show you up to this point of time, and I wanted to finish by giving you a poem. Don't turn off now, come on. Don't turn off. You'll like it. Not a lot, but you'll like it. The poem is called Tampa Tampa. Tamper Tampa, shining bright, make my tobacco fit to light. Push it down and even it sound, tame it level and make it round. Tampa Tampa, my treasured mace, turn with style and dance with grace. Make my tobacco smoulder sweet when I turn on the flaming heat. Tampa Tampa, my magic wand, cast your spell on my tobacco's frond. Pack it crisp but pack it light, and make it smoke and glow so bright. Tampa Tampa, my trusty friend, stay with me till the tobacco's end, and guide the ash and the last warm ember. Give me this fulfilment to remember. Tampa Tampa, time to sleep. You shall remain in my protective keep. Tomorrow I have more tobacco for you to plain, and I shall cherish you once again. Have a good day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.